Who killed the electric car? A lot of you are probably thinking, like, what do you mean? Like the Tesla, it's not dead. Well, it's been resurrected by the people that started Tesla. And the car that I'm talking about is the EV1. And not just the EV1, but when the EV1 came out, all the major manufacturers started releasing electric cars in the late 90s. California forced them to do it because of these rules. I think it was like CARB is the acronym. Can't remember what it stands for. This is not really a video to give you like all the specific details, although I know a lot of them. I remember when in the early 90s going to the auto show in LA and seeing GM's prototype for an electric car. And they ultimately ended up releasing it because people were totally into it. I don't know, if you're older, you might remember back when, back when it was all about the year 2000 and how the future is coming. And for like over 50 years, like people would talk about what it's going to be like in the 21st century. And electric cars were always a big part of that when you would watch like sci-fi movies and movies from the future. And so GM made the first modern electric car, the EV1. And it was cool and everybody wanted them and it was so hard to get them. You had to like fill out this paperwork. And there's a movie called Who Killed the Electric Car that's all about when all those cars that everybody wanted so bad, they all got destroyed. It's crazy. It doesn't even make sense. Like why something that was so popular, you could only lease them, you couldn't own them. The real hero in the story is Francis Ford Coppola. He refused. He has it. If you watch Jay Leno's Garage, he has an EV1. There's an episode of Jay Leno's Garage where Francis Ford Coppola talks about how wrong it was that they took all the cars back, and he refused to give his car back. He's like, go ahead, sue me. And he never gave his car back, and he still has an EV1. Actually, I think he donated it to the Smithsonian or something. I don't really know. And there's another weird story that somebody found an abandoned EV1 in a parking lot in Atlanta, which is really weird. I'd love to find out more about that story. But back to the movie. A couple weeks ago, a week ago, it got posted on YouTube. The movie, Who Killed the Electric Car? Oh shoot, I gotta put a link to it in the description of this video. Shoot, I should have done that. So, can I even do that right now? So go check out this video, Who Killed the Electric Car? Especially if you're in the electric car and you remember the EV1. There was also a Ford Ranger. In 1997, my first ever job was cleaning pools in Los Angeles. And one of the pools that I would clean was Alex Trebek's. And he had a Ford Ranger, and I always thought it was weird that he drove around in like the cheapest Ford truck you can buy. And then I realized after watching this movie, it was probably one of those electric Ford Rangers, and he would totally be into like electric cars and that kind of stuff because he cares about the world. So, really, what I wanted to talk about in this video is why the electric car became illegal and what happened and how politics, even though a lot of people, they think like, oh, I don't care about politics, I don't want to think about politics. Even for those people that don't want to have anything to do with politics, politics matter to you and something that you care about. For me, it was electric cars. I grew up, I had RC cars. I really liked racing my RC cars, and an electric car is like a big RC car that's, well, really not radio controlled, that you could get in and drive, which is like the most amazing thing to me. Electricity is awesome. You don't have so many moving parts that a gasoline engine. There's no smells. There's no dirt. Like, electric cars are really clean. And am I streaming? Is everything working here, guys? Because I don't see much going on in the chat. Huh. It says that I'm streaming, but there's nothing going on. So yeah, so this, what ended up happening is we had Clinton. a Democrat for his administration was running things from 1992 to 2000. And from 1996 to 2000, the EV1 and like all the different electric cars were being sold and leased. And actually the only one that you could buy was a RAV4. Okay, cool. Good. Yo, El Chapo. So there are still RAV4s from that era that people owned. But all the other cars were leased and they were taken back by the auto companies. And people say that it's because, there's a law that says that they have to provide parts for cars that they sell for 10 years after they discontinue them. People say that that's the reason why. But if you go back in time, every time there's a Republican administration, they're not for electric cars and solar energy. They want to burn oil. And then whereas the Democrats, they've always been more into like saving the planet, and they always want to invest in solar and electric cars. So when Bush got elected in 2000, one of the first things that they did, and it's like, this is a conspiracy, right? Because nobody actually knows the truth, but if you read between the lines, you can see what the truth was. And the truth is the oil companies are running things. It's, and they don't want electric cars. Electric cars aren't good for the dealerships. There's less parts. There's less stuff to work on. There's a lot of people that electric cars are not best for their business. So that's a big part of it. I feel like I can't talk right now. Oh my God. I want to tell this story. When you go through time, like, I don't want to say like, oh, support Republicans, support Democrats. Like, that's not what this is about. I'm just trying to show you how politics work. And like, if you don't care about electric cars and you want to drive big SUVs, then the Democrats are not your people. If you really like guns, the Democrats aren't necessarily your people. Democrats like guns too, though. I mean, let's face it. In a lot of Democratic, in a lot of places where there's a lot of Democrats, like there's the cities they live in the states, there's a lot of home invasion robberies. So Democrats like guns too. But the truth is, if you want freedom, complete freedom with your guns, then like the Republicans are the people you want to vote for. If there's one issue that you really care about most, then you're going to like a particular party, one or the other. Like, let's say you are against abortion. You're probably, and that's like a very serious, like most important thing in your life kind of issue, you're going to want to go with the Republicans. If you're like very, very serious about climate change, then you're probably going to want to go with the Democrats. So I guess like when it comes to deciding like who you want to vote for, if you want to vote, because you don't have to, it's a free country. I think the best way to, like, it can get very complicated, and the best way to simplify it is to just think like, okay, what matters the most to me? And what is the basic stance of whichever party on this issue? I'll tell you one thing, like, throughout history, the Republicans have always been the party for the rich people. Like, the richest people in the country, ever since over 100 years ago, they try to buy the presidency. Like, today, it's the Koch brothers. They select a Republican, and then they want to get him to win so that they can improve their tax situation and whatever else they can do. No, I haven't taken a dump in my van yet. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, depends on what your issue is. Yo, Jordan, what's up, guys? Like, one story that I always like to tell is Theodore Roosevelt. When he was elected, he created he wasn't elected. That's the crazy thing. So he was the vice president under McKinley. And vice presidents have no power. That's where, politically, throughout history, that is where you put somebody if you don't want them to have a power. And usually, vice presidents do not later become president. That is not the normal course. I mean, you look back at our elective history, if I'm using the right word for that. So that's why Theodore Roosevelt was a scary dude. Like, he had these like really progressive beliefs, and he was crazy aggressive and didn't listen to anybody, very stubborn, and people did not want him to be president. So that's why they made him vice president under the McKinley ticket. McKinley was paid for by the robber barons of the day, like Vanderbilt, Carnegie, J.P. Morgan. All the richest men in America wanted McKinley to be president. So they bought him the presidency, and he became president. Now, good for them, right? Well, when he got assassinated by an anarchist, it changed everything, because now Theodore Roosevelt is president. One of the greatest Republicans ever. Him and Abraham Lincoln were the two greatest Republicans ever to be president. And the one thing that they had in common is they did what they believed was right. They weren't like a bought and paid for type president. Like, they went against the grain. And that's why they became so great, and why we still remember their names and they're on Mount Rushmore. They weren't a bought and paid for Republican. I don't know, maybe Lincoln was. Like, I'm talking like I really know my history. I know a lot. But it's just kind of interesting how, and I'm not trying to say that Democrats aren't now bought and paid for. Some of the richest men in America now they all vote Democrat. Warren Buffett votes Democrat. Bill Gates votes Democrat. And the reason why they do this, and this became such a political discussion, but I'm talking to you about political history, not like today politics. Well, although it all affects today politics. The reason why Bill Gates and Warren Buffett like to vote for Democrats is because their core belief is that private individuals, companies, like, they're not helping the common man. They're not going out there and making sure that every American is taken care of. And at this point in time, the way things are working, the government needs to do that. And everybody knows, like, the government is terrible. They waste all of our money. And Democrats, like, we don't necessarily like Democrats because they keep raising taxes. They want to have the most tax money that they can possibly have. But of course, it's to help everybody, right? But then we have corruption. So then it's like, when you're dealing with a corrupt government, do you want to keep growing the government and paying more taxes when, like, a lot of that money is going to go to waste? These are the things, that's where it starts to get complicated. But can we get back to talking about electric cars? Hey, Pamela. Dude, we don't have a lot of people here, do we? Because there's like hardly any messages. What's up with you guys? What's up, chat? I think there might be something wrong with my stream, because I've gotten like almost no messages since I started the stream. Something weird going on. Well, I could show you though. Here's the EV1. That's the old EV1 from General Motors, 1906 to 1999. And then on Netflix, there's the Who Killed the Electric Car, which is what I want to show you guys. Who Killed the Electric Car? So this, not on Netflix, on YouTube. What am I saying? So go check out this video on YouTube. It is so crazy. Here, YouTube movies right here. Hour and 32 minutes. Really interesting. And then the technology that's in that first car, the EV1, it actually came from this company, AC Propulsion. And you know, of course, Tesla has like pushed it, like taken this technology, probably made it a little bit better, maybe a lot better. Here's all the different um, cars that had AC propulsion in it: the Tesla Roadster, the EV RAV4, and of course, this was developed. Interesting. This guy Alan Cocconi right here. Alan Cocconi is the guy who developed it. He referred to this system of AC. See, it's an AC motor and an AC power inverter, like speed control. So he called his speed control basically like 100,000 watt audio amplifier. So it's a bunch of transistors. Like before this, and here's his T0 car next to an EV1 in this picture. This T0 is a really cool story. That's the first car to go 300 miles on a charge. What they did is these two cars have basically the same drive system in them. And this is their prototype that they would use. They would do all kinds of like experiments with. And they would use, ultimately, the EV1 never had lithium ion batteries. And the maximum range that it had was 140 miles. And it was about the same for the T0. And then they put like several thousand lithium ion batteries in the thing. See, this is what it used to have, lead acid batteries. Once they changed it to lithium ion, look at all these batteries. There was, let's see if it shows the number of batteries. Then suddenly it has a 300-mile range from 140. They over doubled the range and they made the car lighter at the same time. So they drove it to Vegas. So that was their big publicity stunt, is they took this thing all the way to Vegas nonstop without having to charge. I wish it showed like the number of cells, because it was like this crazy number of thousands of lithium cells that it took. Because they basically took like little lithium cells, like AA's, and they wired them up into these battery packs. So this is really the beginning of the Tesla, this car right here. And, of course, the EV1 right here. They both have AC drivetrains in them, which is what's in the Tesla, and it was the first AC electric drivetrains ever built. And the reason why AC over DC, because, you know, batteries have DC current. So they had to convert the DC current from the battery into AC sine wave, like you have in your house, to power the motor. And the reason they did that is it's way more efficient. Even with the power loss of having to convert all the electricity to AC, it's still a way more efficient system. And I believe it also makes the, when you hit the brakes and it charges, it makes all that more efficient. So it's a big deal. And then here's the thing, see CARB? Where does it say? This is not a clickable link here. An auto alliance of the major automakers litigated the CARB regulation in court, resulting in slacking the zero-emission vehicle stipulation, permitting the companies to produce super low-emission vehicles, natural gas, hybrid, in place of pure electrics. So that's why you didn't see electric cars for the whole 2000s. I think it was 2012 when the Tesla finally came out, the Tesla Model S. And those Tesla Roadsters, they didn't even have tops on them. They weren't like really usable cars. They were cool, and I'd see them around town in LA, and I always wanted one. But the Tesla Roadsters, they were really modeled after this T0 with like no top. Pretty much the same car, but made into a production vehicle. This is the Tesla Roadster. There's got to be people that still have these things. Pretty cool car. And then the new Tesla Roadster coming out, that thing's going to have like 800-mile range and all this stuff. It's pretty crazy. Look at that thing. And then there's the T0. Let's see, what else did I find out about electric cars? Oh, okay, so there's this guy. So I've always wanted an electric car. So like back in 2004, I was like, oh my God, there's not going to be any more electric cars. They're discontinuing them all. And it was several years before you can get electric cars again outside of Europe. And it's I'm just really happy that we can get electric cars now, all thanks to Tesla and Elon Musk, who didn't start Tesla, by the way. He was just like an investor. And now he's, I believe he's the CEO of Tesla. So founded in 2003 by Martin Ederbrode and Mark Tarpenning. The company's name is a tribute to the inventor Nikola Tesla. The next three employees were Ian Wright, Elon Musk, and J.B. Straubel, all of whom are named as co-founders of the company. So Musk was a co-founder and formerly served as chairman and is the current CEO. Pretty interesting. So I've been saying for a while, like as far as Uber, Lyft go, like if I continue to drive, I'm going electric. My next car is going to be a full electric car. Like I've been wanting one for a long time. I'm all about it, and that's what I want to do. Oh, Mr. DSN, you watched it. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting movie, huh? Hey, April. Oh, finally, there's some people in the chat. Oh my gosh. You forgot I existed, Lilac? Wow. Hey, Ari. Well, I'm on Lyft. Yeah, the SEC riding his ass for sure. Elon's crazy, man. Why Tesla? Well, I think a big part of why Tesla as a name for the car company is because the drive system is AC. And AC current is a Tesla invention. So that's why Tesla. That's the one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is how AC current from DC batteries, like that conversion, the speed control that does that, that's the big, that's like what made electric cars able to go. That and lithium ion batteries is what made electric cars feasible. Because, for a long time, people make their own electric car conversions. Oh, there's this company. Oh, wait, so I wanted to get into this company called Electric Car Parts Company. So I've known about this for a while, but the reason why I'm going kind of crazy about it, I'll show you. Electric Car Parts Company. So I'm building this van, and I need a battery, right? Because I want to be able to power, I want to live like I'm in a house in a van. So I need lots of power, lots of electricity. So I had to find batteries. So this is what I ultimately ended up getting. I got a 12-volt pack from this Electric Car Parts Company. And then after that, I'm researching electric cars because I'm reminiscing. Oh, shoot. Oh. Sorry, I just got this neoprene. For my car. I'm making this thing for my window. It just fell. But yeah, I bought neoprene from Home Depot. Pretty cool, huh? So, So yeah, so I need it, and so I'm reminiscing on electric cars. I'm like, oh, I bought my first big lithium battery. Like, I'm so stoked. I'll show you the one I got. So this one right here. They got all these different batteries. Look at this giant one. But this is like the craziest deal in lithium right here. And I was tripping out too because that was the price. Like $1,900 was the price. There was no extra for shipping or any of that stuff. Like I didn't have to do any of this. Like I just ordered it, $1,900, boom, it's getting shipped to me. And you cannot beat this price. Like I don't know if you guys seen like Battleborn. A lot of people talk about Battleborn batteries because they're like good, reliable batteries. Dude, this thing is less than half the price. For 4,800 kilowatt hours, which is what this is, in Battleborn, you're looking at $5,000. I got this thing for $1,900. So I discovered this guy, electric car parts company, and the owner of it is Carl Clark. And so I looked up the guy's LinkedIn, Carl Clark. I'm like, this is how I do my research. So I'm like, oh look, Carl Clark, where is it? Hold on. Carl Clark Electric Car Parts Company. So I watched that movie. I'm just like, oh man, it sucks that they destroyed all those EV1s. Yeah, they literally put them in car part shippers. And so, here's Electric Car Parts Company. Here's his LinkedIn. So I talked to Carl Clark. When I ordered my battery, I actually talked to the guy that started this company. And then I watched that movie, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this guy seems really passionate about electric cars and solar power. I wonder how he feels about them destroying all the EV1s and the electric cars back, in 2003. And so, and the movie, Who Killed the Electric Car, came out in 2006. So then I find this guy's LinkedIn. I'm like, oh, hey, look, it's Carl Clark. And I read his, how do I read his stuff? Here it is. I read his bio or whatever this is. In 2007, this is the guy that I ordered my battery from. And I found this out after I ordered the battery, and like literally the same day, but right after I ordered the battery, and then I read this, and then I saw this movie, Who Killed the Electric Car. I can't talk today, I'm sorry guys. In 2007, I saw a movie called Who Killed the Electric Car. The movie disturbed me a great deal. To learn the lengths that General Motors had gone to deprive the average American from being able to drive on an inexpensive, non-polluting fuel made me determined to go on a crusade, and the electric car company was born. Today, our business has grown where we not only sell equipment to convert electric vehicles, but we have expanded to specialize in lithium batteries, chargers, and solar energy storage. We are utilizing the knowledge we have gained and are applying that knowledge and experience to help our customers develop almost any lithium application imaginable. And like when I called and I got to talk to Carl Clark, it's because I called, somebody else answered. I asked questions they couldn't answer. And so then Carl Clark calls me back and he knows everything. This guy is super cool. He's like, we continue to provide EV conversion equipment like lithium battery packs, lithium battery chargers, connectors, DC, blah, 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 all these things that you might need, right? Like everything, literally everything you might need to make an electric car or do like a solar setup, or let's say you wanted to make an off-grid business with like tremendous amounts of, like he sells these gigantic batteries, like all the way down to like the one, smaller than the one that I got. And all the parts that you would need to build your own battery. So their solar business has expanded to include energy storage banks, inverters, and solar charge controllers. He says, we are in an exciting time, so go for it. Let your creative mind work. Contact us, and we will do our damnedest to help you complete your project. So I was just really stoked. I was so happy about ordering my battery. I was so happy to meet this guy on the phone. He's up there in the Midvale, Utah. If you guys are in the area, like this guy. Okay, so if you're into electricity, you happen to be in Utah, or you want to move to Utah, this guy needs help. Okay, his business is blowing up. He literally, if he finds this video, he's gonna be pissed off because he was telling me how he likes being the best kept secret. He doesn't want to be on YouTube. He does though. Will Prowse is a famous solar power guy on YouTube. He has a pretty popular channel. And a lot of people find this guy through him because he talks about Fortune cells being his favorite cells. Fortune lithium cells you make your own battery from. They're really great cells. And they come from the electric car parts company. So you don't hear him talk about the company really, but that's where those batteries come from. And there's a lot more than just those Fortune cells at this company. I'm telling you, like anything you want, you can build an electric car. You could build an electric charging station. Like whatever it is you want to build. And and the battery that I got, he said 5-year warranty. How about that? 5-year warranty. Blown away, man. Blown away. So yeah, so this I watch all these van videos. Everybody's buying like these name brands and stuff. And we'll see. I got my battery. We'll see how it goes. The Fortune cells I was telling you about, that's these things right here. They're really easy to stack into 12-volt configurations. See how? And then it comes with these covers, so everything's covered. Like there's just everything you can imagine. These are like the replacement drop-in styles. This is like what most people you see that make vans get. Now, a 100 amp hour Battleborn costs you $1,000. He's got these for $708, and they're lighter. They weigh less than Battleborns. And I'm pretty sure everything on here is a 5-year warranty. I'm not sure though. But yeah, I'm willing to bet probably everything on here has got a 5-year warranty. Every battery at least. And then, he's got the different voltages. Like, so you can buy packs too. Like, you could buy these. You can buy... These look really interesting. You can see the charge cycles. 4,000 charge cycles. But this is like when you want to build your own battery. So you would, like, make this. And I would say for, like, the average van lifers, you want, like, a 24-volt pack. There you go. 24-volt. You want a 12-volt pack. Boom. And then these things, when you buy a lithium-ion battery, it has to have a BMS in it. So if you were to buy the cells like these, put them together yourself, you also have to get a BMS, which, he has everything on here. Like, you just go to where it says like BMSs, and you can buy a BMS. But yeah, I'm just like so psyched on this company. Like here, Choice. Ooh, this is the really good BMS. This thing's like digital. It'll tell you how much energy is left. And only $140. Like I probably should have ordered one of these. Look at that. State of charge displayed. And then it also protects the battery because with the lithium ions, they have to operate within certain parameters of like voltage and amps and temperatures. And so that's the BMS helps like make sure that the battery operates within proper parameters so it doesn't like catch fire. It literally could catch fire if you don't have a proper BMS and you don't, use it right. So this is like protection. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Oh, let me show you the huge systems that they have. Oh, here's an AC controller for a AC motor controller if you want to make your own electric cars. Isn't that crazy? This is like what's in a Tesla, kinda. Pretty sweet, huh? Look at that. 550 amp, 144 volt. And the ones in a Tesla are like 400 volt. So he doesn't have anything that high of voltage. But it's still pretty cool that you can, get an AC motor. Does he have AC motors? Yeah, here. You can get an AC motor and an AC charge controller, make your own electric car. How sweet is this? And then there's like these giant, I want to show you the giant systems for like your house. I don't know. Oh, I don't know where it is. Look at that, you can get the little plug to plug your car into the charger. Air compressor. Brushless DC electronic compressor and control. Wow, so I could like make my own AC system. Look at that. How cool is this? And what's crazy is like the stuff that he has on here, like if you were to buy it from any of these like American companies that are selling stuff, like it would be so much more money. They're like charging so much more. Darn it, man. I wanted to show you the giant custom built energy systems. Here we go. Look at this. Look at that. You could spend $23,000 on a 48 volt, 40 kilowatt hour, huge energy system. And it's like got everything you need to tie it into your system. Like it's a full complete kit. Oh, here's large lithium. Look at these monsters. Like these racks to hold battery after battery. Look at this. You can buy from this guy a $420,000 3 megawatt hour 600 volt to 900 volt DC energy storage system. Look at this thing. How crazy is this? Like this guy is the real deal, dude. Like I'm so stoked to find this. And I'm just shocked that more van lifers aren't utilizing this resource. But then I also realized, like, you have to know a little bit about electronics, but then again, you don't. And, Carl was telling me a story that he said was a secret, so I don't know if I should be saying this. But he was saying that these packs, the one that I was ordering, he told Will Prowse that he has a secret, and it's going to be the best battery system out there, and he's keeping it a secret. And Will's like, yo, like I want to know about this secret. And he's like, I can't tell you, because if I tell you, you're going to put it on YouTube, and I'm not going to be able to fulfill the orders because there's going to be way too many people. And so I believe what he was telling me is that these batteries right here, the one that I ordered, and then here's the smaller version, these are the best kept secret on his site. Because I mean, if you really look at it, this price for 400 amp hours, $1,900, if you were to get any other of these batteries, it's not going to even come close. Like let's say you went with the 100 amp hour battery, so 400 amp hours at 12 volts, you're going to need 4 of these. 4 of these, you're looking at 30, wait, why can't I? $2,800 to get 4 of these. You can have the same energy density out of this, and it's lighter for quite a bit less money. Like $900, you're saving $900 by going with this over this. And then you're saving $3,000 over Battleborns. So, yeah, pretty awesome stuff. And you could put these in electric cars. These things are made for electric cars, especially though these fortune cells are made for electric cars. Aluminum encased, super lightweight. That's the other thing. Like all these batteries, they have very high cycles, 2,000 and up. Some of them are 4,000 and up, right? And they weigh nothing. They hardly weigh. They're like some of the lightest batteries on the market. Okay, enough about batteries. Get back to talking to you guys. Where are you guys? Oh, what's up, guys? About to have some Mexican food. I'm getting hungry, dude. We're doing the Mexican food thing. Where's the chat? There we are. What's up, chat? What are you guys saying? Yo, Bob S. I've been good. Yeah, that's right, Journey. Tesla AC. Make it like a spaceship inside. I like that idea. I do want it to be like modern. Definitely going the modern route. Tesla invented the AC induction motor. There you go. Yeah, so that's why they call it Tesla. Hey, Lance. Does he make drill batteries? I mean, I don't think like, if you were to open, you could get batteries to replace what's inside your drill batteries, but he's not going to actually make the case for your drill. But you could probably buy the batteries that go inside of it. Oh, thanks, James. Yeah, I got a charger. Yeah, the Rust-Oleum's doing good. What do I plan on powering with the battery? Like everything? Like one thing I really like to do, because I might have water. My first ever business was an auto detailing business. And it was kind of always a dream. Like, they have the gas pressure washer and then a generator to power the vacuum for like mobile auto detailing. Well, with this battery, I could get a pressure washer. I'll have a water tank already in the car. I could have like a mobile detailing setup in my van without even, like, it's kind of already there just by making a space to live in with all this power and water. Suddenly, I can go and detail a car anywhere I want out of my van. So I really would like to put a pressure washer in it. Of course, like anything electric, computer, anything that you would have to plug in your house, I'm gonna have to power in my van because this is no limit van life. I don't want to have any kind of limits. I don't want to be like, oh, I can't power this or I can't plug that in. Like I want to be able to plug anything in. Like ultimately, if I could plug in a welder, like that's the thing that would take the most current that I could think of. But like I would like to be able to plug in a welder. Like literally anything. Man, this is a weird live stream, guys. I don't know. I should have done this live stream like when it was like more fresh in my head, right after I did the research. But it just, it made me think about like, how when Bush got elected, that killed the electric car. If Gore would have gotten elected, because this is 2000, Bush, Gore, Chads, remember the Chads? If Gore would have got elected, we would have still had electric cars. Like none of that would have changed. And it's just kind of crazy how an administration can take us in a whole new direction like that. Like, pretty scary. But then there's certain issues like, like cannabis. Like you would think that like one political party or the other would have a more progressive view on cannabis. But that's more on the individual. That's not a political party thing because Yeah. But then there's certain issues where it's very clear, where, uh, like abortion. It's very clear on abortion. It's very clear on guns. Well, kind of. I mean, because Democrats aren't against guns. It's not. Some people think that Democrats want to take the guns away, but that's not necessarily true. It's very clear on climate change. Whatever. I don't even want to talk about politics. It's like depressing. Like it drains my energy, and I realized when I was a kid, people used to say like, I can't decide who to vote for because they both suck. Like now that I'm getting older, I'm like, oh wow, I get it. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. So about the whole administration thing. So Jimmy Carter was a Democrat, and then Ronald Reagan got elected in 1980, I believe. Now, Jimmy Carter, being a Democrat, he was pro-solar. He put solar panels on the roof of the White House. It was a whole publicity stunt. Well, there was a reverse publicity stunt after Reagan got elected. He removed the solar panels from the top of the White House. Like, when Carter was president, I believe Chevrolet made an electric Corvette. And that went away real quick. So, yeah. Like if you go back in history with cars, there's never been an electric prototype or electric car made when there was a Republican president in the last like 60 years. But there was a couple electric cars that came out, like not full production, more as like prototypes, when there was Democratic administrations, or Democrat. So, it's just interesting, I'm not trying to get political or anything. I'm just trying to call attention how politics can matter to like the dumbest things that you care about. Like for me, it was electric cars. I'm just like, damn, like why do they got to take the electric cars away? Like that sucks. Pissed me off. But they're back. It's all good. They're back. Reagan, when you see one tree, you see them all. Yeah, that's funny. Is that true? Is that really a quote? Alright, guys. Where is everybody? This is like the deadest live stream I've ever done. Thanks for showing up. For the people that are here, because if it wasn't for you guys, oh my gosh. Dude, did you see? Somebody was hating on me before I even started the stream. Somebody's like, you even talking about weirdo. Nobody killed the electric car, you effing moron. If anything, it's the opposite, loser. It's just like, oh my gosh, you don't even know what I'm going to talk about, and you're already like judging me. That reminds me, like, I used to go through my comments. And one comment that I didn't particularly like is people that would say that I should be deactivated. And I'd be like, what the hell? Like, why would you, like, every day I drive people and they're like, oh, you're the best driver I've ever had. Like, you do such a good job and you're so cool and blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, like, my passengers think I do great service. But then all these people, some people, not everybody, but just a handful of people online, they want to say that I should be deactivated. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, that's so messed up. Like, over a video? Like, just because of something you saw in a video, like, you don't even know what you're looking at. Like, what's real, what's not real. And now I read those, I still get those comments occasionally. And I'll see them, and I'll read them. And I literally laugh out loud because I'm just like, that's so funny. And it's weird because I feel like the difference now is like I'm not driving. So like, it's not, like I'm not connecting it to like losing my ability to drive for Lyft or Uber. It just sounds like such a depressing thing. It's like, oh my God, like why would somebody want me to not be able to drive? Like I wouldn't say that to somebody else that's been posting what I've been posting. Like now I think like God, like Uber and Lyft is such a joke to begin with. Like the way that we've been kind of like, you know, they haven't been very caring towards the drivers. They don't really take good care of us as their employees. And there's just so many, like, as much as I like to drive and it's like such a cool thing, like there's so many times where I'm just like, wow, that's all the money I made. Like, that sucks. And it's actually more common to have a day that like felt like you didn't get paid enough than a day where you felt like you did good. And it's like, why should I care? You know? I saw like a rideshare guy posted a video today about how Lyft is deactivating for people right now for no reason, and I'm just like, oh, not Lyft. Like, Lyft is the ones that I like. Like, why do these companies do these like messed up things? But you know, that's been around. Like, you know, like I remember hearing a story about Xerox and how Xerox just like fired all these people. People get fired so that the company doesn't have to pay their pension. Like, there's so many messed up things that companies do. The people that, dude, you know what? Like, that's so crazy, the people that get upset about where I point my camera. Like, they don't even know. Like, they have no idea, like, what was going on or why I did it. Like, you know, those people that get crazy like that, those are the kind of people that are just looking for something to complain about. Like, that's all that is. That's why I don't really pay attention to it. Because it's like, you know, that's what those people spend their whole day complaining about whatever they can find. I mean, go watch the news. Go watch any TV. Like, I'm not doing anything different than what you've already seen on, like, national television. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. Oh, I need to eat some food, guys. I'm like out of energy now. But it was cool to come on and see you guys. Thanks, Anthony. Yeah, I need to post. I'm working on. I need to do. Oh gosh, let me tell. Okay, I'll tell the story real quick. So, I had the hardest day yesterday. I'm like sore. I did a job that should have taken me like an hour on my car. Okay, I was replacing the sway bar end links because they're making noise on the new ProMaster van. So, this is it. It was stuck. This bushing. I finally got. I had to cut the bolt that was holding this on. See the slit I put in this bolt? Like, I literally had to take a Dremel tool and cut this bolt off. And then I was able to, once I got it loose after cutting the slit in it, I was able to get it off. I was spraying tons of DW40 in there. And I even, trying to get it off, I have this universal joint of my dad's. This thing broke. It just snapped while I'm trying to get this thing off. Like, just BAM! Never had that happen. Look at how heavy a steel this thing is made of. Like, that's crazy. So I got that stuff off, and then I'm left with this, which is like, you know, complete disaster. I cut this notch in it right here with the Dremel tool. This metal bushing and metal and rubber bushing. That's the end of the sway bar right there. I need to get this off. Still wouldn't come off at that point. So then on the other side, I cut another slit. Still wouldn't come off. So then my dad, 81 years old, my dad gets in there with a like a pipe and a hammer, and he just starts banging up against the side of this thing, and then it pops off. He was like banging as hard as he could. And so now, after that, I had it exposed. I have this right here. And you see I even notched in it. I like went too far, cut into the sway bar. And I was able to put the new sway bar link on. So it took all day to do that. And I like put some special stuff to like keep my brakes from squeaking because my brakes were kind of squeaking bad. So that's what I went through yesterday, and I'm just like worn out. I feel like I went to the gym, and I feel like I went to the gym and I worked out wrong. Like, not a good trip to the gym. But let's see, I have a picture of what the sway bar link looks like. It's just the stupidest little part. That's what I was installing. Simplest little thing. Should have taken me an hour, but because things were like rusted up and seized, it took forever. But I'm glad that I got it all fixed now, because now everything's good, no more rust, and it should be a lot easier to work on anytime in the future. But now I have this. I had to get this from the factory, Mopar. I gotta put that coolant pipe and hose on my car, and I thought about doing it today, but no, man, I'm worn out. I am worn out. And then as far as my other car, turns out the guy who rebuilt my engine didn't do it right. The guy who's working on my engine now, he showed me the pistons in the Honda. This is one of my pistons from my Honda. And you can see the like scoring. You can see that the rings don't overlap. Like, there's just... Basically, he was telling me that the guy was supposed to replace stuff, like the pistons, that he didn't do. So now I'm having to put together like, I'm trying to get all my stuff together, all my paperwork and everything. Here's my car, like, all in pieces. The Honda motor, everything taken out of there. Yeah, and then there's that. Gigi. That's Gigi. What's her? I forget. Look up like Gigi Porsche or something like that. You'll find her. Gigi Porsche. She's kind of famous. Yeah, see? This is who that was. She's really young, but she's got this like dope Porsche, and she's like in the car community, so that's kind of what she's famous for. This girl, oh my gosh, she has an IMDb. Her demo reel is on here. Wow. Trying to see if she was in anything. What? It looks like there's a filmography here. Like, she was in The Golden Rule in 2012. And she was in Variables. Huh. 5'5.5". Well, that's cool. Oh, you guys are still there? Do I have a selfie with Pam Anderson? Nah, but I do spend a lot of time in Malibu. Oh, new CV axles are nice. Man, you won't believe how smooth your car is. Like, for me, when I put a new CV, actually I think I put 2 new ones on my Honda, it changed the feel of the car. Like, suddenly the car just felt so smooth. Have a taco. Oh, that sounds so good. I'm so hungry. I am going to have a taco, actually. Actually, I'm thinking about doing a chili relleno burrito. That's what I'm thinking. And maybe like a salad. We'll see. It's cool how I zoom. I didn't zoom. I leaned forward. Dude, rideshare source driver, dude. Oh, that Zoom, yeah. I'm just trying to show like what's going on. Like I look at my videos as like a time capsule to like go back and look at and see like how people dressed and how they looked and what it was like now. I wish I was doing more video about like just our current experience with COVID. Like I feel like it's all so interesting. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to end the stream because it's dinner time, guys. It's about to be 6. I'm gonna have to say, peace out. Peace. Bye. Bye. Your right front is knocking over bumps. James, that might actually be acetone and ATF mix for penetrating lube. Interesting. See, now that's what I needed. Some kind of trick penetrating lube. Oh yeah, my lighting. Well, I'm about to end the stream. It's all good. But yeah, that might the right front knocking. Check out your sway bar end links, because I've had that issue on every car that I've ever had. I've had knocking, and it ended up being the sway bar end links. Yo, bye, Mr. DSN. Oh, I will have something fatty for sure. For shizzle. I'm gonna do I'm gonna be pretty healthy. I'm gonna have a chili relleno burrito, and then I'm gonna have like a salad that's got like beef on it. Machaca. It's called a salpicon salad at Senor Sol in Northridge. Oh, so bomb, dude. Dude, Senor Sol. That's my favorite Mexican spot in my area. I love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, I'll see you next Sunday. I'm just gonna come on, do these Sunday streams. I'm gonna try to make a video to post. I've been doing so much work on the van. So much work on the van. And rideshare source driver, like, dude, help me figure out how to get a key, dude. I need a second key. Oh, thanks, Johan, the boneless. Thank you. You watch all my videos? Dude, nobody's watched all my videos. That's crazy. Dude, thank you. Oh, dude, salt it up. Alright, so I don't want to keep my parents waiting. We do Sunday dinner every Sunday, so if I'm in town. So I'm going to say peace to you guys. Well, how do the girls do it? They're like, I don't even know, but I know they're like, bye! Oh my gosh. Alright guys, I'm going to end stream. Thanks.